Niggas is live.
All right, I'm live now.
Yo. Yeah. Happy Friday.
I don't think anybody responded. They don't care.
They don't care. We care.
Yeah.
Feel that chart, Will.
You need to.
Oh, they're coming in now, Will.
Nah. We need to. What was it? We need to make a controversial title. That's the problem.
Oh, you want it more controversial?
You didn't make a controversial title.
You want a better one?
Just title it. Which Fed chain is better, Solana or Sui?
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
Which Fed chain is better?
Let me see how to edit this. Hold on.
Just going to edit. Put the name up there. It's 50K. Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Hold on. Which Fed chain is better?
That'll pull in your boy. He'll come watch the stream for that.
Hold on. Yeah, I got this.
No, we're gonna have some hot takes tonight. I just want to throw that out there for everybody. All right, we're gonna have some real hot takes. Don't be offended.
Nobody better be fucking offended. All right,
we're gonna run some real hot takes. Hold on, Props.
Real hot girl shit. What's up? Let's play some hot girl shit real quick. Hold on. Happy Friday. How y'all feeling?
I said certified free, 7 days a week. Wet ass cook, make that pull out game weak. Yeah, you fucking.
Oh, he's back. He's back. All right, let's get it. Like, comment, repost. Let's go.
All right, so we need to talk about Fed chains. Who's it always talking about Fed chains? They call them Fed chains.
You Fed chain motherfuckers.
I forget who calls them Fed chains all the time. One of the guests calls them Fed chains. So we need to discuss some Fed chains. All right. So one thing with these Fed chains here, is you always need to check the supply. All right. Always check the supply. Yeah, that's an important one. What does it say about Ethereum's supply here, Profits? Just out of curiosity, what does it say?
Infinity.
Oh, it's infinity. So what does that mean? Can you tell me what that means for Ethereum?
Well, this means that Ethereum is basically infinite in the sense of the supply, right? It's not fixed like Bitcoin.
Not fixed.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
It is infinite in supply. So if it's infinite in supply, how does that apply to value? Does it make it more valuable?
Easily dilutable. You can dilute it more, right?
Yeah. You can dilute it more. Now, a lot of people say we're fudding. All right, that's what they'll say. That's okay. It's okay to feel that way. Everybody's got their bags. Everybody's upset. You can be upset about us fudding. You can be upset about whatever. But we're trying to educate tonight, right? We're trying to educate. We're trying to show you why a real price squeeze can come into play for some coins that may just not be present there on others. So this can be infinitely printed, right? So that's going to be continuous sell pressure on the coin in a sense, as long as people are staking and receiving rewards, right? And plus Ethereum Foundation, how much ever they mint and sell on to the coin, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go to everybody's favorite. It's gonna be a really hot take for people. What's that? What's that supply right there?
Infinity as well.
Oh man, infinite supply on infinite supply. Yeah. So if they decide to come in and print out 100,000 Solana, ultimately this total supply can go up, right? Not saying they will or won't. I'm just explaining how this works. Would I be correct in saying that, Providence?
Say it again.
So if they were to come in and print 100,000 of this coin, then that means that we'd be at 700,000 and not 599,000.
Right. Correct.
Right. And ultimately, what that would mean, 599 million. Ultimately, what that would mean is that this coin would get heavily diluted. So what does dilution in price mean? It means price goes down, not by selling pressure, by introducing new coins into circulation, right? That's not selling pressure. So
let me ask you a question before you continue. Why do you think all coins known to man didn't go the route of a fixed supply?
I think a couple different things, right? I think this can be looked at two different ways. It can be looked at it from maybe some of the chains didn't really know what they were going to do at first, and they wanted to make some kind of value out of it, and they knew that they didn't have a path, so they knew no matter how they would have broken it up, they may have run out of token eventually, right? May have run out of supply to be able to give to people, to be able to keep their foundations going, aka ETH, and so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. And so they made their supplies infinite. Whereas, like, when you come into other coins, it's going to be a hot take. All right, don't be getting offended. But you come into other coins and you look at them like something like, for instance, Sui. This coin is what?
As total a fixed supply
and max supply.
Is there a way that they can change that in the future if they wanted to make it infinite?
No.
Okay.
This is the way the contract is created, and that is why they cannot do that. So the only way that they would ever be able to get coins back, let's say they sell a bunch of coins after they've had some coins, the only way they'd be able to get coins back is to buy back into supply. So if they ran out of coins eventually, the only way that they could get anything back, they had to buy back into their own token. Or the chain would die, right? Because they would have no funds to keep going.
Right.
So it would be one of those two scenarios. Now, Sui has gone the route of a fixed supply versus an infinite supply, which makes it uniquely different from most other chains, right? Doesn't mean all Fed chains have to be, and we call them Fed chains because that's what some people like to call them. So I think it's an amusing subject. So I discuss it in that manner. But all these chains essentially have to find their value. Can you get price squeeze as easily on a coin that can be infinitely printed as you can with a coin that cannot be infinitely printed? No, you cannot get a price squeeze in the same scenario. So the value of the token is ultimately better. So the only way they would technically be able to change this process is rewrite the contract and do like a V2, like what Ethereum did when Ethereum moved from
ETH did this.
Yeah, when they
ETH
changed,
didn't do this because of the supply. They did this because of other reasons.
Yes. But what they did is they went from proof of work to proof of staking, right? And that was a rewrite of the code, essentially. A lot of people don't realize that. And so they would have to rewrite the code and change this, in which case a lot of people would have a different opinion on the chain. Now, what's another coin of value that has a cap on it? It's everybody's favorite coin.
XRP?
No, that definitely does not. It's the mother coin of the space.
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a fixed supply. So when I go and I'm telling the audience this because I want them to understand how I typically look at things and what I look for. So when I'm looking at this, I'm typically looking for supply squeezes. I'm looking for basic price action. I'm looking for circulating supply. I'm looking for a lot of different things here overall, right? And so when I'm going through and I'm evaluating chains and I'm looking for that next big winner, I'm running through it in the manner of looking for something with a cap supply, looking for something that has a decent circulating supply. Now, granted, I don't want to mislead the audience. So I want to point out this part because this is important too. Even though it's a cap supply, how much do they have in circulation? Profits.
3.2
billion.
Yeah, billion.
So
in circulation.
In circulation. So
meaning like it's available for buy and selling.
Yes, that is what everybody right now is buy, selling, and trading.
Because everything else is locked up, and then when unlocks happen, that changes.
Somewhat. Some of this, now it depends on the type of lockup, right? Some lockup is for team. Some lockup is typically for what? It's for rewards, right? Some lockup is for staking. Some lockup is for marketing. So they break the rest of the pie up of what remains into how they're going to branch out their token.
Right.
And in the future, you can get a much better price squeeze on something like this than say something like Solana, right? Because Solana circulating almost matches its total, but this doesn't matter because it can be infinitely printed.
Right.
So when they run out of token, which they're very close to doing, all they got to do is start minting more tokens. That's all they have to do. Now, I'm not bashing Solana for that, per se. I'm just trying to teach how this works.
Yeah, we got bags everywhere. Nothing wrong with Solana.
The point being is, I have a lot of bags on Solana because I think there's volume over there, not because I think it's the future of crypto. And I play volume. That's typically what traders do. So when you look at circulating supply, right, and you look at max supply, Bitcoin has the best circulating to max. Flat out. It's almost fully diluted. Can't be printed anymore. And this is the max supply. And so that brings value to something like this. It makes me very bullish on this chain, not to mention all the other things they have going on, right? X-Meta team. I think that their logo and their name is really good. Sui with a water drop as their symbol. I think it's a really good.
They thought ahead on this shit,
Yeah, they thought we talked about it earlier because you were asking me like what my thoughts were earlier, Prophets, and I was like, when you look at Sui, you think about water, right? And you think about flow.
Hold on, Will. You're fucking cooking right now, Will. I'm sorry. There's only 170 people here. There should be fucking 1,000 people here. We're gonna pause for a second. Will's gonna take a breath. You guys need to like, comment, and repost the space. This is free game. This is free game. You're gonna be swimming in X's in literally less than a year from now. Where are the reposts? Let's go. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy night, to be honest with you, because when you look at it, usually we're sitting on what, like 1,000?
I know we didn't really vote it either, so it's all good. It's Friday night. They're just
it's Friday. Everybody's at the club,
leaving all
right?
their brain dead spaces right now. They're like, oh fuck, Will and Profits are live. Let me go. Let me get the fuck out of here.
They're watching the pump fund streams.
They're watching the pump fund streams, man.
Yeah, they're like, which pump fund are good into?
You guys want us to PvP you? We could do it.
I mean, yeah, we could PvP you. No, believe me, we could PvP you. I got some cookers. But sound like right now and it shows.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are quite a few people that likely are sidelined. But I mean, as of right now, I think, and we'll get into charts too. I think the bigger charts matter. As of right now, we still have, a place where people can be sidelined because we're still not really getting above real resistance. We're sitting at resistance and playing meme coins. That's not usually the safest thing to do. but we're doing it. You know, it is what it is. Usually, this is where you kind of cut your positions because the pump has already occurred, and you let this thing kind of prove itself, flip the range, and or come back down. One of those two scenarios will be important. But going back into this again, I think that what we were talking about here, which is a little more important. I was talking about Sui, right? And their symbol and kind of my thoughts when I first saw this chain and when I understood what they were and where they came from and everything else. And this is what, you take a little bit of research. You can do these things yourself too.
It's not even like high level in a sense. It's just basic stuff to gather.
It's basic, yeah.
Confluence, yeah.
Yeah, and this is what made me kind of throw this out there as a cook for people at like 70 cents when I was like, hey, buy Sui at 70 cents. I told people
I was the same even with all the news and shit.
Is what?
Is your targets the same even with all the news? Like Pokemon already launched their home shit and they didn't even mention Sui at all. They're not going to mention Sui at all, it seems either. They're going to keep it back end, which I love.
Well, I think people already know, right? So
if you're in crypto, yeah.
Yeah. If you're in crypto.
Well, no, that's what I'm asking you. Are your price points for Sui the same or are they higher?
Yeah. No, I think like $20.
Shit.
Relatively. Yeah.
I'm about to liquidate all my Solana, or the rest of it. I had already put a lot of the SOL that I made this cycle into Bitcoin, but I might put this SOL into now Sui.
Yeah, I mean,
like a lot of people are like a lot of like people I look up to in a sense of like I respect their take on the macro and all of it. Like you, like there's like there's like 4 of you, including you. You guys are all saying the same thing that Solana really won't go much further than here.
Yeah, I think Solana's top is probably 300 to 500.
Yeah, 5 is like flirting real quick with it.
Yeah, that's like touching, and then they're just slamming the sell button.
Yeah.
At that point, yeah, they'll just slam that shit. I think once you get up to that point, but I think like when you look at this again with the cap and everything, like that should have been like an instant like something I need to pay attention to. This is the coin, and this is why I told people like, hey, this is the play. This is the one you want to take. Now, granted, keep in mind if you look over here. 70 cents was the floor.
Crazy.
It was literally the floor of this coin. Sick. And then from there, you ran up to 5, came all the way back down to 2. I think you hit 175 at one point. 178, I think was the
shit. It went to $5. I thought it capped at like $4.50.
No, it went to 5.
Wow.
And then it came all the way back to 178, and people were like, no, Bitcoin's gonna collapse to 20K, 30K. No point in getting it Sui. And so they waited, right? And then again, you just missed out another 2x. But the point, and keep in mind the reason
FOMO in at those tops. I know a ton of people FOMO in at a couple bucks for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think another thing is here too with Sui specifically is like it's an easy cook in my eyes, right? You're getting back to that $5 for sure, and then you're likely going exceeding, another 3-4x from there. And so when I looked at this one and I looked at Algo, and I'll tell you the relation in a minute, right? I know there's a lot of hatred towards this one. You got Algorand, you got what's the other A coin, Profits?
Ape coin?
No, A starts with an A.
Ape coin does.
I got them right here.
I
got Algo.
But you're saying that has a fixed supply.
Yeah, so we got Algo right here. And Aptos. That was the other one. Yeah,
Aptos.
Yeah, so Aptos.
Heavy hitter. That might be a good one too.
Yeah, Aptos was another one that I was kind of paying attention. And keep in mind with this one, Algo, like I was telling people again, just I think we hit almost 9 cents on this one. And I was telling people, hey, buy Algo. Oh no, it was 1 cent. So I was telling people down here, look at Algorand. You can see it's still floored. Still very floored. Another one too that we were just talking about was hold on 1 second. We got Algo, Alu, Aptos. Aptos was the other one. This is the one that, and people don't like these chains, but it is what it is. I think Aptos is the other half of the meta team, right? So a lot of people aren't familiar with the whole SUI thing. Basically, the people that were creating the Libra token, as far as I know, the people that were creating the Libra token split off into two teams. One went to Aptos, one went to not Algorand, Aptos. One went to Aptos and one went to SUI. And when I looked at these two tokens, even though I think Aptos will still be a cooker because it has that relation, I looked at this first. And the thing that caught my eye with Aptos is infinity. Right. And then when I saw SUI was capped, I was like, bro, SUI's the play. I was like, this one's the cook. I was like, I gotta go with this one. I'm like, even if I liked Aptos, this is another Solana chain that's gonna cook and then come back down. Yeah, would
you? I don't think Aptos has the attention yet either, so it's probably why it's kind of gonna be a sleeper for now.
Yeah, but the point being with Aptos is like, I just think that, you know, over time, you're not really going to get a lot of upside like you are with SUI. SUI is going to get a real supply squeeze.
Yep.
Whereas this one can't really see a supply squeeze because it can be infinitely created, right? And
because
so
it can be manipulated. This person just asked, why does it matter that much when ETH is unlimited as well? ETH is ETH.
We discussed that. We discussed ETH. We literally we talked about ETH towards the beginning.
He may have just got in. They may have just got in. I would argue and say too, everything that's an L2 is built on ETH. Therefore, ETH is always going to be fine. Let's be real. ETH's always going to be fine, even if it's an infinite supply. And then we have situations like now where ETH has literally been the same price, the whole year, pretty much? Like a year ago, what are we at? Did a 1% gain, not even? Same shit or something?
Yep. Yeah, the ETH has been. Oh, you're good.
Well, isn't that the counter to that? If ETH was a fixed supply, probably it wouldn't be.
It would be higher.
It would be
if
higher.
ETH was a fixed supply, it would be higher. 100%.
With all the activity going on the chain and the burning and all the things.
Yeah.
No, you're good. Don't worry. You're good, Blue. No worries.
But yeah, ETH would be significantly higher if it wasn't for the shenanigans that happens with minting, right? And so you got ETH, you got Solana, you got a lot of these chains. Now, a lot of people have that same response too, Blue. Like, I'm not at all. It's not like, I can't believe you said that. Like, believe me, I've seen a lot of people that same exact response. Like, why does it matter? It always comes down to that question. I think it matters in the form of longevity versus short-term gains, right? Like, one thing I tell people about Solana is never fade Solana because it's a volume chain. But when the volume goes away, Solana goes away, right? And so you have to understand that, because if you're holding a bunch of Solana, when the volume goes away, you're about to get wrecked. And that's just how the chain works. It's a volume monster. I can show you a representation of how that works really easily.
Is there other chains that are also like that?
That are basically volume monsters? I mean, Ethereum. It's the same shit. Just a bigger range, you know? And people aren't willing to accept that. But I mean, like, here's a great example of Solana's like dilution bullshit. This, and then a breakout. And now this forever. I mean, where's your upside on Solana? When I think meme coins, I think compound, right? What does compound represent? It represents the underlying asset appreciating on top of the meme coin appreciating. There's been no underlying asset appreciation here. It's literally just running sideways. And that's why you're seeing volume flow in and flow out, and flow in and flow out, aka pump and dumps on all the meme coins. And I think that's important to understand. Oh, it's saying connection. Because if you don't understand this, then you don't really know what's going on, and you think you should hold on to a bunch of Solana coins, even though that's not the case, right? I mean, we can go through chart by chart by chart if you guys want to, and I can show you 100,000 meme coins that are all sitting at 90+% down on the floor.
Some of those memes are never coming back.
Well,
Yeah, I agree.
that's the problem. Is ETH is not a volume monster, right? Solana is a volume monster. That's why ETH went to 800 and bounced back hard. Solana just kept dropping till it hit almost $8, right? Because there's no volume. There was no volume through here. ETH bounced back while Solana just kept dying because volume kept dying more and more and more. And that is the fundamental difference between the two chains. Don't get me wrong. Like there is a fundamental difference, and that fundamental difference relies on, you know, exactly what we just talked about. Hold on, let me close that. Let's put this on the monthly. Ignore that McDonald's sign.
Yeah.
So if you can look, if you see here, like this was the bounce back here, right? And if we do a double chart here and we run this one on Solana at the same positioning, you'll see it a little better. Kind of what I'm talking about. People hate when you talk about this stuff because, you know, my bags, you're flooding, blah, blah, blah. Look, if that's all you care about, enjoy being poor. Because if you think that I could fudge your bags, you are drastically wrong on that situation. Okay, so here's ETH. Here's ETH's peak. Here's Solana's peak, right? Here's where ETH started bouncing back and forming a bottom, right? Here's where Solana just kept dying. I mean, it's 1 + 1 = 2. Volume chain, right? Volume chain. Settlement layer, volume chain. Two totally different things. What does that create? That creates stability versus death until volume comes back. That's the difference between the two. But for now, volume is here, right? But what are we noticing with Solana here?
Stagnancy.
Right? We're seeing stagnation. Yeah, exactly.
Stagnation.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think that's the perfect word for this. And we're seeing downside, stagnation, aka chop range, breakout, stagnation again. All right, and there's really no way to tell that this actually comes back unless it can flip roughly right around 204. Right, it needs to get above 204 and flip that range, and then you can say, okay, we're going up higher. But unless it gets back above 204, it's gonna be hard to say. And I feel like 300 was a really good tap, but I think you could probably hit 5-6 if you get really lucky, right? But for now, Solana's not showing that it wants to break this range, regardless of how much volume comes into that chain. It just keeps on chopping this ridiculous, forever sideways chain. And then if you look at something like Bitcoin, and here's the funny part about the whole thing. If you were to add in Bitcoin, on top of that, and you were to look at that with what's going on, it shows you a whole different story on like what's been doing what and like how the market's actually been reacting to price action. And we can get rid of all this. That's fine. We'll come back to it in a minute. But if we look here, and again, peak, right? Peak. And we come over here, place in spot, peak, all the way down, right? I only need to move this one over one. Right there. What are we at? November. All right. So that's all of our Novembers in line. All right. So if we were to look at this drop, again, just another one of those. Bitcoin went down, Solana went down, Ethereum found the bottom. This is why a lot of people were bullish on Ethereum, thinking that it was going to go much higher. And basically, Solana found a bottom much lower, much later, right? Right before the market flipped. But ETH was kind of signaling the bottom. Bitcoin was also signaling the bottom with a bull div, right? If you ran the RSI on this, it's a drop. Whenever you see price going like this direction, usually your RSI is running the other, especially after you've had a big drop, right? But if it's not, and RSI is following this, expect more droppage. But RSI was floating up while ETH bottom or Bitcoin bottom was kind of forming. Volume was also spiking while bottom was kind of forming there, right? So you had these two things kind of playing out here. Solana didn't have a bull dip, but Solana did bottom in that range. And so basically we had this big consolidation range while Bitcoin was doing what? Bitcoin was veering up for the next leg up. Solana followed Bitcoin to a degree.
Everything
right?
follows it, no?
Started stalling out, though. Started stalling out right about here. So Bitcoin followed through higher. Solana just started stalling out. And then all Solana's been doing, even with Bitcoin's recent leg up, all Solana has been doing is playing sideways. Even with this leg up, Solana wasn't able to really penetrate that high. Now you could argue and say, okay, well, this was the high. It's not much of high. You didn't get much out of that move. And same thing here with ETH. ETH actually double topped, right? ETH double topped here, which was another interesting thing to kind of look at there. ETH double topping against Solana. It did form another high. And I think that Trump's announcement was like right in here. And that was like your peak, expectation into a dump. And I would argue this is heavily insider selling off. Hard as fuck. Coming and just selling the shit out of this chart. So, because they sold this thing down so fast the minute that Trump coin came out, it wasn't even funny. Everybody's trying to bid into the coin, and they're just shoving into your face.
A month ago, there was like 2 whales I noticed on chain that bought a whole bunch of Trump at $7, and then like this shit goes off. It's funny.
Yeah, it's wild to me. So
that's his own personal Ponzi to play with all term.
Yeah, you had this high.
That's his personal piggy bank for the next 4 years.
What? Or Solana?
Trump coin.
Oh, Trump coin? Yeah. Yeah, the Trump the fact that he said you get dinner with Trump is wild. That's
wild. Adding utility to the meme coin.
Yeah, I almost feel like they got to restructure the restructure what the SEC said is considered a collectible now, because it's no longer collectible if it has utility. But yeah, so and look, look, real recognizes real, right? Player recognizes player. Trump's just playing everybody at the end of the day on a lot of that shit when it comes to the meme coins and everything else, and people are just eating into it. Right. If we come over here to SUI and we look at the same thing here, USDT. So this hasn't got as much of a lifespan, right? It hasn't got as much of a lifespan, but so far the coin it looks good, right? Every move up has been exponentials up, right? Big up, drop back down, consolidate. Big up, drop back down, consolidate, and then we're swinging back into upside again. Now, what this will be depicted on is if Bitcoin can go higher, but your upside potential has been way better to play something like this versus something like this. Unless you're making money on the meme coin, your underlying asset just doesn't. It's not putting out. It's just not, right? It's your significant other inviting you out for a date, and then at the end of the night she's like, thank you for the food. And she's like, I'm out. That's it. She's like, I'm out, right?
He's out, buddy.
Thanks for the dinner. Let's do it again tomorrow.
Thanks for the IG picture.
You getting 100% move here, right? And then when you look at something like this, it's like, what'd you get here? 600% move. Which one provided better, right? One went home with you at the end of the night. The other one did not. The other one said, I'm waiting for dinner tomorrow. I'm waiting for dinner tomorrow. Every pump. Don't worry. Tomorrow's the night. Let's go to that steakhouse.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes with some of these coins.
Tomorrow.
But upside, again, just your potential upside, just it was always better here. This is why I played this coin. This is why I was discussing this coin. That's why I was telling people to buy this coin, because your upside was better. Chart wise, everything. The only other thing that I would say, a lot of people could have got involved with was Bitcoin. Really, honestly, like Bitcoin's upside was continuous, right? 538%. Now, a lot of people are like, well, if you got in at Solana at 8, okay. If you got in at Solana at 8, let's talk about it. If you got in at Solana at 8,
the people I know that got into Solana at 8 used a lot of that Solana on NFTs that didn't perform. Similar
it's
to
crazy.
The ETH people I know. Because that was me. I have a different story. I've been buying ETH since $20, but I was okay with burning some of it in 2021 to get into NFTs. But once you burn 5K one shot, it's all you need. That was all I needed. First NFT I ever bought was $5,000. Straight to zero.
I mean, this is just wild to me. Like, I can't tell if this is selling or buying pressure or price manipulation. I can't tell what the hell this is, to be honest with you. Like, look how flat the sell to buy ratio is here. You're getting an average move of 100% high to low. I guess you could day trade it, or not really day trade, because keep in mind, we're on the monthly chart. This is month by month by month by month by month. But let's count this out, Profits. March of 2024. What are we at right now? April of 2025.
Well,
we're a year and 1 month and right back where we were a year ago.
Insane. This is because a big reason is because of the unlimited supply, right?
Yeah. Well, unlocks plus unlimited. Like there's a lot of factors here, right?
Yeah, sure.
The foundation printed a fuck ton of tokens. So like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But
Satoshi sold all his Solana for Sui. He's a Sui maxi now, bro.
Oh, you're Sui now? That's good. Fixed supply. It's like Bitcoin. It's the quiet one.
He's been trading Sui. I've been watching him. He's one of your biggest fans, I believe. Satoshi, I think, learned life because of you, Will.
Because nah, man, he's got it. Satoshi's got it. What do you think about or not what do you think about, but I guess one of the things I like though with the Sui community, right? Let's just talk community a little bit, is that I don't hear them every freaking day talking about the fixed supply. I never hear them mention it.
They never mention it. And you know what I also noticed hanging out in some of the community rooms, sorry to cut you off, they are very fixated on whatever said product they're building on the chain does and not the price point. And it's funny because I was in that full sale space today. It was like 200 people, real people. And somebody like on the team was, they're a community member as well as like a Sui community member, but they were basically pointing out how, and I don't know if I fully agree, but majority of Solana was built on, speculation and hype off of like price points normally, whether it was art or meme coins. That's just what it is. Whereas it's not like that with Sui. It's they lead differently whereas don't get me wrong, there's speculation and shit. I'm sure people are making money, but they lead in a different way. So I don't know. It is interesting. So, I feel like that's more long lasting as well.
I have a little bit of a different opinion on that. So I think Solana was built to be like an ETH competitor to a degree, right, and to be like a legitimate chain. But once they saw the volume coming in on memes, they leaned into it. You know what I'm saying? Like they just said, "Fuck it, let's do it."
No, and 100%. And that's not necessarily wrong. Like they have, I think. I mean, somebody will not agree. I think one of the best content creators on that chain is Jakey because he has like the high level commercial like 100% content that my mom or my cousin or my normie friend would definitely watch. because it's you know what I mean.
Mhm.
It's high level and it's relatable, you know, in a sense. But yeah, I agree.
No, yes, I would say some of the best high res content on the space out of everybody. Out of
Agreed.
everybody.
Out the back, that kills it. Kills it.
Yeah, like dude really goes all out on most of his stuff that he makes.
For sure.
He does really good content. I appreciate his takes because just
My
because I like.
no, I was
Go
gonna
ahead.
say my point of saying that is that if as imagine those like other creators start to do that high res stuff on Sui on like in Sui's specific example, I mean, I don't see why it won't go to $20 at that point. It's already got the price point, it already got the backing, got the builds, and then now the marketing's on a high level too.
Yeah, the marketing's always been there though for Sui. I will say that it's always been there for that chain. That's one thing that I've liked about it is like the marketing itself has been the strong point.
Yeah.
So
Is base going to zero? Is base for everyone going to zero? Damn, that thing just keeps selling off. Listen, pal, just consider yourself a community member at this point. It's all good
yeah,
in the hood.
we'll cover some memes. I got some hot ones. Look, fuck it. Everybody else is slinging memes. We'll
Uh-oh.
sling them. We'll sling them
Uh-oh.
tonight. All right, we'll sling them.
Uh-oh.
Like it. Let's run it. So one thing I wanted to point out though with Sui, all right. So we can go back a little bit. We can check out the chain. So as you can see here, green box, drawn, liquidity, where it's going to, where we want to see price come to, right back into our one. And you know, again, we just go back a little bit. We go back one more. We look at that a little bit later, tag right into our box, come right out. The second we get back above this green range right here, previous high, right? And this is why trading works. The second we get back above previous high, we shoot up. And not only do we shoot up, again, we just keep going and going. And now we've pretty much engulfed all the drawdown. So engulfing the drawdown is essentially right here, be getting a move from low to high that is bigger than high to low of your drop, right? So high to low is here to here. Now, how do we define high to low here? Because your range is defined right in here once you start consolidating, right? Once you start consolidating. And your body candles are what matter more than your wicks, right? And your bodies combined equal more than this entire drop, which means likely Sui will be continuing to push to the upside because of that. Again, this is just a trader perspective. Doesn't mean it's 100% guaranteed, but that's the way I look at these trades when I try to play them. So this being an engulfing candle, if this stays like this and we get a close like this in the next 2 days, it's going to be a pretty strong move for Sui. I think it's going to be up only for a little bit. And I think that's always important to understand when you're looking at price action overall, because if you're not looking at price action from that perspective, you're just guessing, right? You're guessing. What I wanted to see here too, and I was telling people, I was like, if you get your short side play here, you know, TP right here at 78, but it ended up kind of reversing and flipping back up. And one thing I told people in the previous post to this one, I told them, you know, if you run up to 85 and flip 85, cut your shorts. Don't run your shorts. I was like, cut them. So just for transparency's sake, I have it on here a little ways that actually.
Let me flex on y'all real quick. Let me prove to you guys. I already told you.
I have to, bro, because like people they don't like it. You know, when you tell them and then they're like, oh, prove it. Prove it. So this is where I said basically retesting 50 or 85.
What's up, Melina? Habibi.
Now there was some funny business here with the Trump tweet, so I was kind of a little bit questioning that, but where were we? I said if you see price pushing to 84, 85K, it seems like it's rejecting, take shorts there to ride it back to the lows, as like if it breaks out take the L on the short, flip long, and go from 85. So if you would have listened to this exact advice right here, you close your short at 85 once it flips it and go long. And you could have rode this all the way up to almost 95 from there. That's why like trading is kind of like it, you know, if this, then that. That's how trading typically works. And so if you violate a certain level, you have to be able to change your perspective and go with the flow. The flow being liquidity flow. Not the community. Not the community. The liquidity flow. So, you know, obviously we flipped up, we moved up. Now we have to see again one more flip to see higher, and that's 95. If we could see price flip, not
the
poke
major
it.
Resistance?
That's a major resistance. Not poke it. It needs to get on top of 95. Got to break through it with force. If you can get price to break through 95K and start breaking out from there, you're good to go. So do you know what I did after I cut my long at 95? I flipped short again at 95, and I'm short right now. And if price goes and flips 95, I cut my short and I flip back long. That's how I'm playing this. I'm playing this level by level. I'm taking the resistances. I'm playing them appropriately. I'm shorting that resistance, and I'm longing if it flips. That's how I'm doing this. I take a little bit of L on the short, but I get a big price move on the long. So it's worth the time and effort to play it like this. That's trading 101. So I mean, I just gave my whole game plan out as far as like what I'm doing right through this range right now. So again, I'm just short right here. And if we get a move, where I would TP is probably about 85. I would TP about 85 if we get back down there. So I know that a lot of people think that if price comes back down too far, you can really break down. I think if you get below 85, but you shouldn't be shorting the retrace on the retrace. You should be shorting before the retrace starts to occur. And that's what you're looking for here. There's a lot of people that have flipped long. I've seen that on the timeline. I think even Zoran's flipped long, which is really weird seeing him try to, after he told people that Bitcoin was going to 30K. Zoran.
Oh.
You don't know old Zoran?
Yeah, I think I've heard of him before.
Yeah, Cole World. That guy.
I feel like people just react too fast on their analysis, like their takes or whatever it is, without like doing true deep analysis. I don't know.
Extremes. They look for extremes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And do you know why they look for extremes?
The clout engagement. Yeah.
That's why when it's bearish, they say the most extreme things they can say. When it's bullish, again, they say the most extreme things they can say. Or they'll say opposite direction, right? One of those two to try and get engagement. They're trying to piss people off, so they'll comment and say you're dumb, you're blah blah blah, you're blah blah blah. Or they'll say, yeah, I'm with you. I'm very bearish too, even though you're breaking out above all-time high. It's crazy to me, this space. Yeah, that's my thoughts there. I think, look right here, Profits, like a fucking clockwork, man. It's crazy. I've had these levels marked out for a couple months now, basically saying we're going to come back into here because we had all the consolidation here. We came back, we hit it, and we've been holding this body candle wise. Don't look at the wicks, look at the bodies, right? Body candle wise, we held this whole trading range, and then now we're coming back up again. To me, I think we're gonna get a little bit of a meme coin run, a little one, not
a crazy one
right now, just a little one.
Not a crazy one, but a little one.
Yeah, not the altcoin season, everybody, like people are saying on Twitter shit. No. We're gonna get a little run. Something that'll get you a nice little 3 to 20x maybe. And then from there, we'll see what happens, right? The market will either pop. I still think your pop-off zone is towards Q4. I still think that's where you really pop off. And I would say TP at that time. Don't be a community member. I'm going to throw out some meme coins. I don't give it. Look, lambast me if you want to. I don't care.
No one's doing shit. They're going to be excited to hear these plays. They'll be all right. Take them or don't. Nobody's putting a gun to your head.
Nobody's putting a gun to your head. Nobody. This is an easy play. Lots of liquidity flow. Lots of liquidity. Mom, 10x to all-time high. Right? 10x to all-time high. Okay. Swag. I know people hate this coin because they wrote it back down.
Holy
Look
shit.
at the range.
I'm not
Look
touching this
at
shit.
the range. You don't have to.
Is this on base?
No, this is ETH. It's an ETH play.
Oh,
Yeah. So again, just range. If it was Solana, I'd say it's dead, but it's ETH. So I don't think it's dead yet. But this is your ETH play right here. And again, just the same way identified over here. I think there's another identification for swag. I do think Barsic is bottoming out. I thought it was just going to keep going. It started
ain't no fucking way.
It's starting to curve. Now, granted, it can like that, right? And pop off over here. Don't have to buy it. Don't buy it if you don't want it. I don't care. All right. This is what I've been looking at, Profits. I know it's controversial.
I'm just messing with it.
But look, I'm not going to say what it is. You can see what it is. I'm watching it. It has a bottoming range around here, right? It's got a bottoming range around here. We're not gonna talk about it too much, but price wise,
you got a thesis. That's all that matters.
It's a thesis, exactly. Up dog, low right in here. Again, this for me, this is just community gold check. There's not a lot say this thing's gonna do much from here. Other. Now keep in mind, I do have a thesis to this, trading wise. Other than the bull div. And right in here, right? Now, how high that bull div will be able to push price, that'll be hard to tell, but you do have one starting to form here on up dog, right? Bull div looking good. Ski Cat, another one I've been in for this one since basically like 77K. I was dialing in right in here, and now we're starting to get a little bit of movement. Doesn't mean anything's going to happen. You can see right here, it did this last time, and then just rolled back into the range. That could happen again. Yep. So don't get excited, right? Don't think this is where it breaks out, and then you buy in the top, and then it just rolls right back down the range, and you want to sell. If you're going to buy these, have a little bit of holding mentality, right? Have a little bit of holding mentality. No, I bought swag. Yeah.
No, Emma. She's buying. Yeah, he's buying swag, and
all these ones I'm showing you. This one I think is already at 0. I'm not buying this. I fucked up here. I thought we can get the rip here. I thought we can go a lot higher, because I think I bought it in like right over here, and I thought it was gonna come up and tag this because I was looking for a liquidity move up to here. And nope, never happened. I do think this coin's going to 0. There's nothing to really go to. There's no Twitter. There's none of this shit. So, if you're in it, you can cut your losses if you want. I'm just going to hold it, let it ride out. And, if it goes to 0, it goes to 0. So I'm not buying routine, though. I'm not. I'm going to tell you guys again, I'm not buying
that's
routine.
What I hear down.
All right. I'm not doubling down on my bag. I'm not doing any of that shit. I'm a community member. And if it goes up, I'm selling. If I can get back out, I'm selling. On the community. not on the people that I told that this might be a good swing play, but I'm selling on the other people that bought this shit. This is what I'm watching. Haven't bought yet, but Giblification is looking pretty based. You're starting to tighten up really hard in here. It's got 7,930 transactions, 844 makers. So 844. How many holders? 844. Oh. That's what the makers are. So you got roughly about 850 holders, essentially. This one's got a good narrative. This goes into that. Remember that whole phase profits where we're doing the Ghiblies or whatever?
Yeah.
That's what this is.
I figured that.
Yeah. So I think it'll be a nice little cook on that one if it runs. One that I'm bullish. And look, I'm just going to be real. I'm really bullish on this one. I just don't. Again, I think this is a Q4 cooker, so I think you can wait on it. I don't think you get to buy right now because I think you can catch it back down here. I'm just going to tell you guys, right? This low. So I wouldn't be like, oh, I got to get it now. Because you can see right here, it's rejected a few times in this range and could do it again. But I think at some point BNB might pump this coin. I think they made this. I think they made this fucking coin.
Captain, yeah, me too. They need to pump that shit back up because I'm down right now. They definitely need to pump that shit. Go buy that shit, guys.
I think they made this shit. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Nah,
Like
I
think
agree.
they
And then I
legit
saw
made it.
like your usual suspects fucking promoting
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is a cook. Yeah. So just Spence, just so you know, Ski Cat for me is a cook off of. It's a spinoff from Ski Mask Dog. Like I think this is a cook.
I'm fucking sick of y'all little Uzi narratives.
Now look, look at this. I want to show you guys something. Like I'm looking for the big swing here. I'm looking for the big swing there. 7,107% if we can get back to all-time high.
Ski Cat, right. Holy fuck! How many fucking co-plays is there?
Look, I'm looking for the big play here. All right, I'm putting it out there. Look, this is recorded, so if it happens, I'm gonna come back and dance on everybody. I'm just saying. All right,
he's gonna dance on y'all.
I'm gonna dance on you. Basis for everyone is dropping, bro. We're getting to that one. It's forever down. All right, it's forever down. This is gonna be another Barsic for me. Right, it's forever down. So we'll see how this plays out. We did get in at a good. I think we got in over here. Shit, like we had a good pump, but then this shit's just been down and down and down and down and down. So, I mean, daily chart. This is what this looks like. I do think it's gonna start basing out soon, because you can see right here it's starting around. So you'll probably catch a low somewhere around here. And you'll start doing this. And then you look for the move on the base, right? Oh, what was the last one? Ski Cat or Captain B&B. So Captain B&B is one I'm watching, not buying yet, because I'm buying only when it comes down into this range. All right. Ghibli, watching, haven't bought yet. Again, starting to base out nicely. You can see right here, look, you have volume, and now you have no volume. A coin like this, 500K liquidity, no volume, that's what I call a price squeeze, a tightening, right? Volume, it's got liquidity sitting at 500K. No big drops, no big pumps in this range. It's something I need to keep an eye on, because this one could pop off. One that I taught the profits about today, which I thought, not this one, by the way, but this one could go a little bit higher, but I wouldn't be buying that where it sits at right now. If you guys are buying house coin where it sits at right now, good luck to you. But one that I brought up the profits today, and she's like, "What?" She's like, "That thing's cooking."
Please.
I was like,
"Yeah, I think it's running back. It was a big narrative."
Yeah, I think that because you're starting to form higher low structure or higher high structure here, right? Higher low structure. To me, this looks like it can cook. Now, here's the thing. This could be a mid play swing or a high swing, right? It's going to be one or the other. So a mid play is going to bait people into buying, and then it's going to come back down.
Yeah.
Right. And then you'll get trapped. So I would get out with half of my position probably right around here if this starts running and going. But it looks kind of like Fart Coin when the Fart Coins first started moving. Now, again, everybody, okay? I want to bring everybody back down to earth. We're sitting at 95K resistance on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes back to 85K, all these coins go back to the floor. Some of them might run, but all of them go back to the floor. Do not be mad at me if they go back to the floor if Bitcoin pulls the whole market back again. All right? So don't buy pumps. Wait for drops. If you're going to, like, don't chase this, right? There's better plays that are sitting closer to floors, not retain. We're actually going to remove that chart so I don't confuse people. Ghibli, right? I think B&B is okay here, but like, again, I'd just wait for a floor move. Up dog, I'm in this. Let's run it.
You think B&B is a FUD chain?
B&B?
Yeah. Up dog, that shit needs to come back like pronto.
Look, I'm more bullish on an up dog at 99 than I was at like 200, 300, 400 K liquidity. I'm just saying. Why? They got a gold check. They're paying for that shit. I know a lot of people don't really think about that stuff, but the team's not gone, right? Project's still kicking. Not a lot of these meme coins are actually investing back into their main coin for exposure. Not a lot of them do. So that makes me bullish on them.
Yeah, they gotta get creative. Like, yo, if your meme coin isn't like dropping it like it's hot, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Mog's a cooker, man. Like everybody knows Mog. Everybody knows Mog.
Agreed.
That's you can't be in crypto Twitter not know what Mog is at this point. Like it's overtaking the space. So when the market cooks, Mog's going to cook. It is going to cook. And I think it can get back up to where it was at, if not higher. Right. So for me, this is an easy cook. If the market can cook. Again, I think Captain BNB, I think this is a Fed chain move, aka I think Binance made this coin. I don't care what nobody says. You're not going to convince me otherwise. And I think at some point this thing's going to run. Right? We're gonna have a peanut type event going on with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you remember what happened to Peanut when it hit Binance?
I remember.
Instant 24 million liquidity. It was wild. The only thing I have a problem with is this.
Is that still a bullish narrative to you when coins get on exchanges?
You sell them. It's not bull. Like it's not. You shouldn't be buying. You should be selling when it gets on the exchange.
Straight up.
Dump on everybody who's buying on the exchange.
That's been the narrative forever, though, right?
Yeah. And I don't think it's going to change not anytime soon. I think like it's like playing a video game, Profits. You get to the final boss, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to just keep playing the game after you beat the final boss.
Yeah.
What's the point of playing the game?
True.
There's no point. Go play another game that has a final boss so you can beat the next final boss. Like once you hit these exchanges, it's a cook play. In my opinion, like go look at Peanut. People are talking about Peanut's going to run it back. I'm just like, okay, we'll see. What I'll throw out there.
Go
ahead.
So it'd be crazy if it runs it back.
Yeah. Peanut runs it back. That'd be nuts. What? Okay, so I'm giving you guys a secret. All right, this one's a secret for me. I haven't told anybody about this coin. I think I mentioned the Prophet once. Outside, I haven't told anybody about this token. I'm not bullish on it yet, right? I'm watching right now. But for those who don't know, the Safe Moon account, which has over 1.2 million followers, has shifted to Solana. And this is their coin.
Did they fork or anything?
They forked it over, yes. Okay. And they gave people a time period to move all their tokens over. So there are people with bags on this thing, but you got to keep in mind, it doesn't matter because it's only 161K liquidity. You can easily outbag most of the people that have bags in there. So for me, I'm watching it because I think like if anybody knows how to market this space, it's these guys. It's these guys. But again, it's just something I'm watching right now, not buying it. So you go and buy it and it rolls over. I don't want to hear shit. I'm not. And
Will,
I know
some water near you.
I had some. Why?
I think you need to take some water real quick.
Am I too raspy? Is that what's going on?
No, you're doing great. I don't think these people are appreciative of you right now. So what I'm gonna do is go to a commercial break. Okay? We're gonna go to a commercial break, and we're gonna shake it to the max, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Abstract, X, Twitch. Take a sip of water, William.
And if you hear something going with your back, going with your knees, baby, shake it to the max.
If we get this to like 5,000 people, we'll start dropping it like it's hot on stream. But we gotta get to 5K. That's right. William will drop it like it's hot.
It's to the max. Please just rewind. Let me shake it to the max. Shake it to the max. Shake it to the max.
Who's gonna break that Abstract tipping fucking record? What's up? We got 4 motherfuckers on Abstract. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Shake it to the max. Please just rewind. Let me shake it to the max.
Batman, chill out. Batman, chill out.
Hey.
Bad man she love. Bad man she love, yeah. Bad man she love. Bad man she love, yeah. Your pussy fatty like your shot. Make your converse, could I never take a lot.
I'm probably killing Will's headphones right now. All right, back to it. Let's get it. Sorry, I killed your headphones. You'll be all right. I think you're on mute. Am I on mute?
Oh yeah, no, I was on mute. My bad. That was me.
Post it on Facebook. Amazing. Thanks.
Hey man, I really feel like they're gonna break it here soon, but I don't know if they do it right now. We got 1 day and 23 hours. What I don't want to see, I'm just gonna keep it real. Like I don't want to see this thing close here at resistance. I want to see it close above or not at, right? And so
Hey, I didn't know we could do that. That's lit. We can add that. We can have people's comments.
who are the usual suspects? Hold on, who's shilling Captain B&B?
I ain't saying shit.
Hold on, who's shilling it? I want to know. I want to know who the usual suspects are.
Hold
Let
on.
me get the
Fartcoin 2. Listen, William is a hater of Fartcoin, ladies and gentlemen. I need
I'm not a
everybody in
hater.
the chat
All right.
to send me your Fartcoin address. Fartcoin to $10. Let's get
Look,
it.
all I'm gonna say is when people tell me hot air rises, I'm just like, bruh, if you tell me that
Hot air rises.
Bro, it is a dad joke through and through.
It makes
Just
sense.
stop
All the whales that
telling me.
all the whales that I know are 50 plus. Is that a coinkydink?
What do you mean 50, like 50,
They're like
50 years old? On Fartcoin?
Yeah.
So are they old farts? Is that what you're saying?
They're all Come on, William.
Bruh, I don't even know, man. I don't know. I don't know.
I gave him the play at what was it? It was at like 60 cents. It was everything was taken. It was like 60 cents.
I've already caught multiple 2X's. All right.
Whatever. We're going to fucking $10, and it's the only thing in the market that's strong right now.
Nah, man.
I'm gonna chill out.
Ski cat. It's all about that ski cat.
Whatever. I'm sick of you.
I'm up 2X on that.
Fuck that shit.
I haven't even showed it.
Who the fuck is talking about that? Who's talking about that?
It don't matter. It don't matter. Look, you know the difference? The difference is I put in money on that coin. Nobody talks about it. It goes up 2X. Everybody in the space is selling Fartcoin, and it's gone up 2X.
Whatever. Shut up. Shut up. It's the volume.
Oh man.
Show us ski cat. Show them this bullshit ski cat. Show them there. What the fuck is a ski cat?
It's still look. If you played Ski Mask Dog, you know. All right. If you didn't play Ski Mask Dog, I get it.
Cope plays.
You just don't know. All right. Well, you want to see Cope. Cope was all the people coping when Ski Mask Dog popped off, and your boy turned 5K into 380. Just say it, but Hold on. Let's look at let's and I got the receipts, and I got the post where I posted and said, hey, I'm selling at 33 cents, basically the top. Now I might get back in. All right, I might get back in.
I might get back in.
Let's see what happens. But I mean, damn,
son, where'd you find this?
Damn, son, where'd you find that one? And I was telling people to bid. Boom. No, this is the one I was playing hard, right? This is Ski Mask Dog. Right now, it's still. I think it broke its downtrend. To be honest with you, yeah, it did break its downtrend. We'll see. It might roll back into the range and tap off. But the one I was telling you about is this one. This for me is the spinoff. This is the junior. Ski Mask Dog. It's still at 66 mil.
Who the fuck is buying that shit? Is it on any major exchanges?
Huh?
Is it on Moonshot and all that?
It's on base, bro. It's on base. It was a base cook.
Ah.
Yeah, this one was a base cook. I got people that DM me where they turned, like, one dude put in 5K, made 180. I had another dude DM me. He got, I think it was like 15K he put in, and he came out with I think almost $1 million on the play. And he was just selling all the way up, selling into the buy pressure. I mean, look at the buy pressure was fucking insane. So you could sell it. Like, I was selling all the way from, like, I think it was like 20 cents all the way up to like 33. You could just sell into the chart. There was so much volume.
That's how you sell a chart.
Yeah, once the volume gets kicking, you don't buy into upside volume. You sell into it. You never buy into upside volume. You sell down into upside volume because it's the easiest way to get out of a coin.
The chart, yeah.
Yeah, you don't sell as you're dropping. You sell as you're rising. That's how you sell a chart. And then, like, here's another one that was a cook this cycle. I like to bring this one up because, this is where, your boy really came up on this one. I mean, we started from the bottom and then we started clipping here. We just started clipping. I mean, that was oh man, these were the days. That was a cook. That was a fucking cook. Like, you could have came in with nothing on this one. 238x. Do the math. 238x.
What was that, Crody?
Yeah.
This guy want to flex his wins.
238.
What the fuck is 4Coin2? Oh, see, look, more signs. All the code plays.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. You want to see this one, Profits? This was a cook right here. So I told everybody when this launched to buy the day it launched, Profits, right here. All right.
I remember.
Look at this.
You probably don't even know why it launched. You don't. It's so funny.
No, it was a chat bot on Solana. I was like, this is going to cook. Go ahead and do the math there. What's that math there?
Hold on, your screen's small. What is that? 500x?
278x.
This guy's crazy.
Honestly, probably more.
Play. What made you first get into it at first? The volume or what was it?
Well, first, no. So it wasn't the volume. It was a launch play. So I bought it on launch. And then I was like, okay, this one right here is going to cook.
Or you just found it on your own?
No, I found it on my own. I was just cooking in the trenches. I found this shit. I played with their bot that they were trying to create. It was like a chat thing. And so you're supposed to be able to talk to people on Solana chain, right? So it's like anonymous texting, like a WhatsApp type play. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, oh, this thing could cook. I was like, a WhatsApp on Solana would be a cooker. And I was like, this one's a play. I'm like, just buy this and hold this. I got a person in one of the groups I was in, and I told him to buy. He showed me his W on this one. He put in 250 when I told him. He pulled out 24K, and that was because he sold halfway up. He didn't even sell at the top.
Really?
So he turned $250 into 24,000 on that play.
This is what keeps us FOMOing into shit.
It was a cook, man. It was a cook. And, like, I mean, I don't even know if I'm at the bottom. I'm not even at the bottom here. Like, I think it was more X's than that, really, because I remember this was like really fucking high X's on this one. Yeah, let me try and catch that bottom real quick. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's 180,581 is what I got there. It's a crazy fucking play. But yeah, they don't make them like that anymore. Now everybody's in there fishing for 2-3X's. And I'm just like, it's just not enough. It's not enough for me. Doesn't satisfy the palate. Right? People are in there trying to get some chips in a bag. I'm trying to get a full course meal. People try to scrape popcorn off the floor in the movie theater. I'm trying to get a full course meal. It's wild. I'm not even interested in 2-3X's. I'm just not. Like, I didn't care. Like, look, I can come in with 20, 30K flipping into 40, 60. Do you think I care that much? No, I just don't. I just don't care that much. I really need the big plays. I need those big plays. I think there's some cookers out there though, man. I think there are some cookers. $95.1.
Not enough. Not enough for Will.
It's not enough. I feel like we've been cooking profits. We're only sitting at 564, unfortunately. So I don't know. We're at hour 15. What do you want to do?
Oh, we could. I just looked at the fucking. It's almost 10. I gotta pack. But no, this was great. Appreciate everybody coming through. Maybe we do a weekend stream if Will's down. Let me know. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are tuned in, subscribed, notifications on, all that good stuff. We're cooking over here with hot grease, oil, all that. So yeah, thank you, Will. Appreciate you as always.
For sure. Good talk.
Peace out, guys.